Every single day of the year, you have people that land in prison. And when they land in prison, not everybody is willing to rock and throw these. You have so many people in the back of their mind, man, they scared to get in any type of situation or any type of problem. And I don't blame them. Because you never know how a problem can go and how it's going to end. You feel me? But my God's honest opinion, you might as well go ahead and get that first fight over with. And I'm going to let you know why.
Haha, I'm the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone, I'm a charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about what it's like after you get your first fight over with when you were in prison. Now, prison's that type of place, everybody, where you going to find it that every single day there is somebody in a bad mood in there. Okay? Not everybody's going to be, you know, high lifted in spirit and laughing and kikiing and just doing their time, you know, the easy way. There's always going to be somebody in there that is going through something that wants to stir some shit. All right? And the way I feel is once you get your first fight over with, you'll find yourself, you know, prepared. You'll find yourself, you know, with more, you know, skills, more ready for the next one. Okay, if you made it through your bid and you're watching this and you didn't have no fights when you were incarcerated, I'm going to be honest with you. You got lucky. Dead ass lucky. Okay? I can guarantee you one thing. If you did make it through your bid with no fights, right? I guarantee you let shit slide. I guarantee you turned your shoulder when things were about to happen. You may have even brushed off a couple situations. Now, if none of those happened to you and you made it through your bid, I still think you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? Because more people make it through their bid getting into fights than they do not getting into fights. All right? And if you did make it through your bid, like I said, without any fights, I guarantee you, if you had another one, it won't be like that. You just landed in the right institutions, man. You just happened to float through and I don't know how you did it, but boy, that shit feels like impossible for somebody like me. You know what I'm saying? To me, I think it is dead ass impossible for me to go anywhere and do any type of bid and not get into something. Because I'm not letting shit slide, not even the little things. I'm going to notice them. I'm going to call them out. If I feel like someone's disrespecting me, if I feel like they're low-key insulting me, if they're talking under their breath, if there's any situation or anything, or they try to step on my toes, I'm going to call it out. And if you're one of them type of people, you're going to find yourself in problems. Okay? Now, once I got my first fight over with, people knew I was going to fight. Okay? People knew win, lose, or draw, that white boy right there is going to bump. So a lot of people who would start shit with people decided not to start shit with me. Because, one, they may not truly know how to fight as much as they think they can. Or two, they may not be willing to, you know, get caught and go to confinement. And they know for a fact that you're going to bump, you're going to rock out. You know what I'm saying? They know, oh shit, I might get in trouble. It ain't like I could just take this from this white boy or just talk to him any kind of way because we're going to end up bumping and it's going to lead to something like that and it's going to just be a bunch of drama. And three, they respect that you fought the first time. That first fight, it don't matter if you get whooped. It don't matter if you go over there and you get in the paint and the paint lasts 15 seconds and bro knocked you out, got on top of you, mounted you and started whooping you. They're still going to be like, well, he had heart to go over there and stand in the paint. You feel me? He don't know how to fight worth a shit, but he had heart though. You see what I'm saying? And I told y'all my story when one of my first fights in prison. I got in a fight over Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy. You know, one of the dumbest things in the world, I took the fade for Gucci Mane. You feel me? And I say this all the time. He don't even know me. And Frog was like, bitch, I got Gucci over Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up listening to that trap shit. You feel me? So after I got in that fight, people in the dorm that knew me respected the hell out of me even more. People who didn't know me, including the person I fought, gained respect for me. You know what I'm saying? And the next couple incidents I got into, people already knew what to expect. They already knew, oh, it's time to get right because this white boy is going to straighten us out. This white boy is willing to throw him. And you know, after a while, it's like trying to learn how to ride a bike. You know, if you're someone that don't know how to fight and you find yourself in prison and that's your first one-on-one fist fight, you've never been in a fight in your life, after a while, man, you're going to learn some shit from them. You're going to learn it ain't that bad. You're going to learn that shit don't usually hurt until the next day or the day after. You know, you're going to learn, oh, it ain't that bad when it comes to, you know, all you got to do is weave his fist, you know, something small. You know what I'm saying? You're going to learn certain things. And then after you know it, you're not going to keep count on how many fights you got into. But then by the time you come home, you're going to add them up and be like, damn, I went up the road and I got in 8 fights while I was gone. You know, or be like, damn, I went up the road and got in 12 of them. Or damn, I got in 3. Or damn, I only got in that 1. But once you get that first one over with, people are going to respect you. And not only that, you're going to respect yourself. You're going to take so much weight off your shoulders by getting in that pain. Especially if you're someone that never had to fight before. Because now you're doing something that you definitely aren't used to. It's foreign to you. It is foreign to your lifestyle. You're not used to doing this type of shit. You didn't grow up fighting. So to you, it was like a real big thing. So you yourself is going to have more respect of you than anybody. You feel me? Now, if you grew up, how I grew up, getting in fights throughout the school, getting in fights, juvenile detention centers, juvenile programs, then it's just another fight. You understand? It's not that serious. It's just another fade, you know? But once you get it over with, you're going to see your name's going to go around the compound. You know, yeah, the first day or two, people will talk about, you know, such and such, whoop, such and such. But then after that, they're not going to be talking about it like that. They're going to be talking about how, oh, you remember when such and such fought? Oh, that white boy right there fought what's his name? Or that boy right there and what's his name got in the paint and handled their problems. So, of course, they're going to give credit where credit's due to the person who won, you know. But at the same time, they're not going to hold it against you or try you even more just because you lost the fight. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people go to prison with their tail tucked in. You know, they go up the road and they let so much shit slide and they be so scared to get in that first fight, you know, that they don't realize how long they've been putting up with bullshit and getting tried and disrespected, that throughout their whole bid, you know, they was basically put down on, and now they were scared straight to where they don't want to get in no shit because they don't want to fight. But once you go in there and you see that shit ain't that bad. You feel me? I don't give a damn what it is. Just like it don't matter if they're trying to jump you. If someone's trying to jump you, it ain't that bad. You think about it. 2 people could probably do the most damage. Maybe 3 if they jump you. Once there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all them jumping on you, man, they can't even all hit you right. That shit's pussy. That shit's powder puff. Everything they're throwing is like, feels like this. That shit's weak. You feel me? But if it's a little amount of people jumping you, like if you got 2, 3 people that know how to fight, then they know how to take turns whooping you, jumping your ass. But if it's a bunch of them kicking you and all that shit when you're down, it's weak. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, you got to go through with these type of things. You know, you got to go through what we getting beat up every once in a while, you know, just to keep that pride and that dignity and you know, that respect for yourself. What always went through my mind is someone tried me and they didn't even mean to try me, because I've jumped the gun plenty of times. For those that don't know what it means, jumping the gun is when you think something, so you do something, and it wasn't even what you thought it was. Oh, he's trying me, bro, so I'm finna take off on his fuck ass. Next thing you know, you take off on him. He didn't mean to try you. He didn't mean it like that. It wasn't what you was, you know, or even before I take off on him, because you taking off on them and whooping them can make them apologize and make them be like, man, I didn't have no. Yeah, I know you didn't, because look what I just did to your ass. Now that I did this to you, took off on your ass, and you feel like you realize this white boy hit hard, then you want to backtrack and say you don't mean that shit. No, I've gotten to situations before we even got to the actual physical throwing hands just by me jumping the gun thinking it was something, and we get in a fist fight, and I find out it wasn't what it was before we even got into the brawl. You see what I'm saying? And it's got a lot to do with, you know, what you feel amongst yourself. You got to respect yourself before you sit there and you just let these people disrespect you. If your ass respects yourself, there's no way you're going to sit there and just let these people disrespect you. What used to go through on my mind when I feel insulted or feel tried or feel like they try to throw a curveball, slightest little disrespect or anything my way or step on my toes or something, what went through my mind is my old boy in heaven. Okay, I used to be like, man, my old boy ain't raised no bitch. That's what I used to say in my head. And these people might not even know that I'm taking it any type of way wrongly than how they say it, you know? They might just be thinking that it ain't that no situation. And I'm over there, I go to my bunk and I start talking to myself like, man, my old boy ain't raised no bitch, bro. I'm finna knock this dude out, though. I'm finna go up to this motherfucker, bro, and I'm gonna hit him so hard, bro. You know, like, and I'll talk in my head. And I used to feel like my old boy ain't raised no bitch, bro. That's what would go through my head, and I'd go over there and get in a fight, and it didn't even need to go like that. And they, like I said, they didn't mean it like that. But at the same time, I respected myself, and I respected my old boy, you know, and I know how he raised me. I know how he'd grab my phone back in the day. When people would call rapping, I'd answer the phone, be like, man, man, you all talk, man. Don't worry, I'll knock your ass out when I see you. When I first got out of the juvenile program, one time my phone was ringing, and I'll never forget. We were going through the drive-through, like, of the bank. You know, where you go through the drive-through and shit, and they send that little tube, and it's a little thing, you put the money in. We were sitting in the drive-through at the bank. I had just came home from a juvenile program, and my phone rang. I answered, it was some bitch from the neighborhood. I'm like, hello? She's like, oh my God, you're out, da-da-da-da-da. Bitch wanted the cake, she wanted to get that dick first. That's what it was. You feel me? She wanted to try to put the hook in me before all the other hoes do. You know what I'm saying? And I answered it, she was caking, da-da-da-da, put it on speakerphone. My old boy sitting right next to me, he hears it. Next thing you know, the number calls back about 20 minutes later. It's her man. He calls rapping. I start laughing. I'm laughing while he's on speaker because I answered it, put it on speaker again. I'm like, man, you just rapping, bro. I'll pull up and grid you right now. You feel me? Like, bro, whatever you trying to do, let me know. Next thing you know, my old boy grabs my phone off my lap. Where you at? I'll pull up right now. My son will fight you one-on-one. My son will knock your teeth out right now, one-on-one. Where you at? Where you at? Well, I'll bring him to you right now. And that's the way it was. And it was to where I knew, man, like win, lose, or draw, you know, I gotta put on for my last name. I gotta put on. You know what I'm saying? I gotta show my old boy ain't raised no little girl or nothing like that. You feel me? My first name Kenny, not Kendra. You know? That's how I look at it. You feel me? So anytime I get myself in a situation, you know, I'd always remember my old boy ain't raised no bitch. Even though he ain't here no more, he's watching from up top, I still would manage to make sure that if anything goes in my mind that I feel like I'm being tried or disrespected or insulted or anything like that, I make sure we get into it, and I make sure I throw that insult back. I make sure I let them know I'll try their ass right back, that I'm with the shits. Whatever they're with, I'm with. And even if they ain't with it, I'm with it. You feel me? That's how I am. You feel me? And that's what I was doing. When I was younger, I used to, you know, get into things, and my old boy was always with it. My old boy would literally always be like, son, whoop him. If someone tries you in school, son, and your principal calls me and tells me you ain't do nothing about it, but you got in trouble for someone picking on you or anything like that, your ass ain't living at my house. Straight up. You feel me? And that's the type of shit that happens. And I remember when it got to the point to where one time I got in an argument with some kid in school, you feel me? And me and him got in a little argument, and it wasn't a serious argument to me, you see? This is where I didn't take it serious. You know, I didn't take it like it was for real. Me and him were going to fight. We got in each other's face and all this shit. I felt like I stood my ground, but I didn't hit him. You know, next thing you know, my old boy comes home. The principal called him, left a voicemail on his phone and shit. Old boy comes home and he says, son, what happened with you in school today? I'm like, what you mean? Oh, your principal called me, left me a voicemail, da-da-da-da-da. I said, you almost got in a fight in school. I said, yeah, but we ain't fight. We ain't get into nothing. He said, what'd I tell you if you get into it with someone in school and you don't stand up for yourself, you don't do nothing? And I said, what do you mean? He didn't do nothing to me. He's like, what did I tell you though? I said, you said I can't live in your house. And this was in elementary school, y'all. Elementary school. You feel me? He just wanted to give me that tough love, which it paid off in the long run. My old girl was on some shit like, my mom, rest her soul also, if you get into a conflict in school, you tell the teacher. So him and her would always argue back and forth because he'd tell me to whoop him. And then my old girl would tell me to tell the teacher. You feel me? So, you know, I'm going to go with what my dad says. You know what I'm saying? So I told him, he said, I can't live here. He's like, all right, exactly. Get out my house. And I started crying. Where am I supposed to go? This and that, this and that, this and that. He's like, I don't know. You should have thought about that when you got into it with the kid in your school. You see? Next thing you know, boom, I'm out front on the porch crying, don't know where to go. And I'm talking about, I wasn't a teenager yet, y'all. I'm talking about I was like 11, probably like 11 years old. You know, I was young. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do. I'm out in the dark now, out front on the porch of our apartment building, crying. Don't know what to do. You feel me? Like he really wanted to teach me a tough love situation. Next thing you know, my stepbrother pulls up. Because my old boy wasn't with my old girl at this time. Stepbrother pulls up. I'm on the porch. The kid I ended up getting into it with lived in an apartment building next to ours. Like not the same apartment complex or not even the same name of the apartments, but it was like down the street. Next thing you know, we decide, oh, let's go over there. You feel me? I said, I'm going to go over there because I've been sitting out here for hours crying. We're going to go over there and I'm going to knock on the kid's door or whatever and I'm going to tell him I want to fight him. I'm trying to redeem myself some type of way. Next thing you know, I go over there with my stepbrother. You feel me? I knew where he lived because we were cool on the streets. We played outside until the street lights came on and shit. Like I knew him, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I didn't know who he was. We go over there, knock on the door. When they open the door, it was the kid, you feel me? I hit the kid. I hit him when he opens his door. Next thing you know, his dad comes out, grabs me by my throat, starts like strangling me inside this hallway, inside this apartment building. Started strangling me because I hit his son. I ran home crying and told my dad. Next thing you know, dude comes outside. My dad comes outside. Oh, you put your hands on my fucking son. Yada, 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 yada. They get in a fist fight. My old boy takes off on him. A real fight breaks out between adults. Now you got their apartment building running out to the parking lot. Our apartment building running out to the parking lot. Feel me? Big old brawl amongst adults. Police came and everything from this situation when I was little. You see what I'm saying? And you think my dad was mad at me? No. My dad wasn't. I mean, he could have acted mad, you know, because the police came and all this different shit. But at the same time, it showed him that I wanted to prove to him that I'm not no bitch, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't feel like the situation to where I needed to hit him. He wasn't talking crazy when I was in his face when we got separated inside of the damn cafeteria in school. He wasn't talking crazy, you know, we just got in each other's face. Some shit happened. I don't even remember what it was over. It was something like we pushed each other's tray or something. We sat right at the same table and everything, you know, and it just led to something, you feel me? And then my old boy showed me, look, he rocks too. You see? And I'll never forget that, you feel me? And that always stuck with me in my mind to where when I found myself in a situation as I got older, I would jump the gun because here I was damn near disciplined and put out when I was young, you know, taught that tough love, put out, teaching me a lesson just because I didn't jump the gun, just because I thought he didn't mean nothing by it. So that grew on me to where as I got older and when I was locked up in prison, if someone said something to me or looked at me wrong or bumped me wrong or any type of thing and I felt like that shit was intentionally, or if I felt any type of vibe or it even caught my attention, I'd jump the gun and find myself in a fight over it. You see, I can't help that I'm that way, but that's the way that I was brought up, basically. All from that when I was little. You see what I'm saying? And once I got the first fight over with, though, in prison, I guarantee more than half of the people who probably would want to test me or who would have wanted to try me, I guarantee more than half of them decided not to due to the simple fact that they see I was going to bump. You feel me? So it can't hurt you to bump other than losing the fight and, you know, the physical, you know, healing process. You know, it's not going to hurt your reputation to lose a fight. You're going to actually be respected that you got in the paint and you fought and you gritted. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to take a lot of weight off your shoulders, like I said, when you find yourself in that paint. When you find yourself in that type of problem, that type of beef, any type of shit, you're going to take so much off your chest to where you start looking amongst it to where you might start getting in more fights than you've ever gotten in your life. You may have never gotten any fights at all inside of prison or on the streets. You know what I'm saying? You may not be familiar with it at all. You know, and then next thing you know, after that first one does go through and you do find yourself in that first fight, you're going to realize it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? And especially if it was a fight you lost, If you picture that, you get in your first fight ever inside a prison, first fight, and you lost. You feel me? But it didn't hurt. But you lost, and you peeped the difference. You peeped the vibes. You peeped the tension done lowered in the dorm. You peeped that people ain't trying you or looking at you crazy like they used to, all because they know you'll bump. They don't know you'll whoop them. They know you'll get in there and you down to get your ass whooped, if anything. You feel me? And the next thing you know, you're going to feel like you're going to be addressing things more. You're going to be bringing shit to the light and speaking and sticking up for yourself every chance you can, because you ain't scared to lose now. You're not scared to get in a fight because you've already been through there. You've already went down that route and see what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? And people will really, really respect you for being in a fight and losing than someone they've never seen fight before. You see what I'm saying? How many times have you seen somebody get in a fight, whether it was in school, on the streets, you know, jail, the chain gang, whatever it was? How many times did you see someone get in a fight, like more than once, or fight one time at all, and people will talk about, oh, he bumping, right? They'll be like, they're only saying he's bumping because of what they know from what they've seen or what they've heard. There ain't gonna be none of that if they didn't fight before. You know what I'm saying? I knew some stone cold killers that was locked up that didn't get in no fights, and people would still try them. People would still get in some situations with them and shit like that because they never physically seen them fight. You know, see, when I was locked up at Calhoun CI and I was in G-Dorm, Gangland, that was our main goal. Our main goal was when people first came in, it didn't matter what color you were. Okay, so let me get that out the way. It didn't matter if you were black. It didn't matter if you were Spanish. It didn't matter if you were white. It didn't matter if you were Asian. As soon as you came into G-Dorm, Gangland, your ass had to shoot the fade with someone. And we would bet on the fights and make you fight someone else that came in with you. Someone that you've been friends with over there in A-Dorm, the orientation dorm, for the last 3 weeks until they gave you your job at ICT. And then they put you on the compound where you go. You come to our dorm, we're making you fight. And you're better off fighting someone you're comfortable and familiar with and done buddied up with, because y'all came to prison. And you know, people think prison ain't all that bad. You think about it. You know, you get put in a dorm and you're not around all the other dorms, you know, because y'all are the orientation dorm. So this is what you think prison's like. In all reality, it's not. That's just the orientation dorm. You feel me? That's till you get everything situated and over with. You feel me? But then you get comfortable with the compound and you think, oh, this is what prison's like. And no, it's not. Until you get put in the dorm with some real people, until they put you out there. Now you're on the real compound. Now it's considered the real compound. Even though the orientation dorm is on the real compound, but they won't go to rec with them. You know, everybody, they got it to where you go to chow separately, or the guards are standing right there to where, you know, you can't do nothing to the new ones if you wanted to. If you do, it's a crash dummy stunt because the guards are all right there. You know, they separate them to where it's different. So now once you get put on that compound, first thing everybody does when you got put in G-Dorm is makes you fight. And you know, people are probably in there like, nah, you know, when they put us in our main dorms, you know, man, if me and you get put in the same dorm, bro, you know, we got to stick up for each other, bro. We're the only ones we got. And you know how many problems agreed? Hell yeah, bro. Don't worry, bro. I got you. We go there, bro, to be us against, you know, we'll stick up for each other. Make sure no one puts down or tries to rob. And then they'll get put in G-Dorm, and guess what? Fold. Give it all up. Don't matter if 4 of them came in together. See? They scared to fight. So we made it to where we would try to, you know, make them fight each other. So that way you ain't got to feel that bad about fighting someone you don't know, because in your mind you're going to be like, I know for a fact I'm getting jumped. I know for a fact, boy, they're finna jump in. You know, you might be scared to give it your all because you feel like you're going in a dorm, you're new here. And it isn't like they'd wait 4 or 5 days. It's the same day. The same day you come in there is the day it's all going to go down. They're going to TOH you. Test of heart. You feel me? That's how it was in G-Dorm. And I was permanently in that bitch, hanging out. I was one of them ones that would test you. Tell you, tighten up, blah, 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 blah. What's up? Come over here, bro. Check me out. I'll go right up there. I'll come straight up to you, bro, and talk to you. Finesse game. I know how to talk with words. You know, I'll sit there and be like, da, 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 yeah, we'll check this shit out. Bah, 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 bah. And instead of you fighting one of us, you know what I'm saying, and your homeboy having to fight one of us, instead, you know, make it to where y'all two bump each other. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We don't give a fuck if you whoop him. We don't give a fuck if he whoops you. We don't care about neither one of y'all. We just want to see and make sure you will fight. Because we didn't want nobody who wasn't willing to stick up for themselves in the dorm. That was the thing. And if someone bypassed and made it through the sticking up for themselves that day, and made it into the dorm, if another problem occurred with that person and someone else, the whole dorm like made it an issue to where it was a fight event. They made it to where like, yes, no one's gonna intentionally, you know, try you. You're respected because you came in. And it was like, it was rare that people would like beef with each other in the dorm. It was always when the new people came in. It was just like okay, you made it, bro. That was your initiation. You know what I'm saying? You made it into the goon squad. Now you're here. All you had to do was show us that it wasn't nothing. You know, and I've seen it all happen. I've seen people try to talk their way out of it. I've seen people wanting to pay their way out of it. I've seen people, you know, scared as hell. I've seen people decide, okay, I'm gonna go up here and just bump and get it over with. I've seen people act like they didn't care and get in the paint. All that, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else is judging them off of how long it took them to get there, how they acted when it came to get in there. Because to us, and the way they're acting, this is their first fight in prison. You see? So the hard part is doing the first fight, because there's so many different things going on in your head that you don't know what to expect. You don't know what you're going through. You don't understand what the hell. You're like, this is prison, bro. Like, it's a wake-up call. If the guards themselves ain't finna scare the shit out of you about prison, the inmates are. Straight up. Like, because you go to your reception centers, and them shits don't be all that. You'll think, oh, this is prison? Bro, this ain't nothing. And then you start feeling like prison's pie and pussy, and then everywhere you go you think you're above it, like if it's just for show, like you think that it ain't no real deal problems or real deal situations, and it is. There's problems, there's situations, you know. That was when I was at Calhoun. It was more of a grid, show us that you living like that, you feel me? And when I got put in G dorm, I had already fought before that on the compound in C dorm. You see, G dorm wasn't the first dorm I got put into. I done fought on the compound, went to confinement for some shit and all that, came back, they put me in G dorm. I was never able to leave G dorm again. Every time I went to confinement, they'd take me out, put me straight back, straight back, straight back. Every time. They wanted to keep all the troublemakers right there, like the warden said. When I got transferred from there for a negative adjustment transfer for excessive DRs, too many DRs in 1 month and shit like that, I got put under investigation and shit because someone got cut on the rec yard or whatnot. But when I got transferred from there, I was in G dorm. Like, I never got the opportunity to go anywhere else on the compound. You see what I'm saying? Other than, you know, where we're allowed, like rec and shit like that. But I was literally sleeping in gangland the whole time I was there. That's where I was at. You know what I'm saying? And I was putting on. I got in several fights in there. You feel me? But my first fight wasn't in there. But once I got the first fight over with, people inside of C dorm knew me. They spoke highly of me, like, yeah, that white boy gonna bump, bah, 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 this and that, this and that. And then they sent word to G dorm when I landed in G dorm, and someone was like, oh man, this white boy over here, da 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 da. And they were like, oh, is it fraud? Or like, oh, that white boy gonna bump. He gonna get in there, he gonna grid. And then they still wanted to see, and I still got in the paint and gridded. You feel me? Brrr, got in there. You know, it was nothing, you feel me? But I had to show myself again. That's how it was. When you go to other institutions and shit, you know, it's better that you've done fought already at your last institution. You know, word travels here and there. You know, you might land way up in the panhandle and someone that's seen you fight at your last camp might be there and they might put a word in for you. You know, and then if that shit don't fly or if that don't happen, because the chances are slim that it's going to help you at all, you'll already know what to expect. You can't expect to just bump over here at this camp and then go to another one that's 8 hours higher up your state and then go there and feel like, oh yeah, bro, you know, you already know what to expect. You'll know the outcome. You'll know people respected you more because you put on and got it over with. You see what I'm saying? So you'll be ready to go. You'll be ready to go ahead and get it over with. That's it. Don't go in there and look for it like, oh, whoever want to fight me, bro, type me up, let's get over. Because the whole dorm's going to want to try you then. If you say that, the whole dorm's going to be like, what the fuck he got going on? And everybody's going to want to bump. And then it's going to be you'll probably get a train ran on you. Probably one will jump in there and start whooping you, boom, 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 boom. And then after that, all right, break it up. And then another one come on. I'm going to type me up now because I feel like you tried everybody in the dorm. You see what I'm saying? But you just be prepared for it. That's something you got to prepare yourself for. If not, if it don't come your way like that, and you feel like people just keep trying you, it's going to be because your ass didn't get the first fight over with. You didn't let them know, I just want to do my time, be left alone, but I'm willing to bump. I'm willing to chuck these bitches at you if I have to, but I just want to be left alone and do my time. You know, you didn't make it known. You'll make it known when you're not fucking with nobody and you fight if you have to. That right there is letting them know without even saying anything. You feel me? But alright, y'all, I'm going to wrap this video on up. Y'all do me a favor, man. Drop in the comment section. Let me know what it was like y'all's first fight. Okay, whether it was on the streets, whether it was when you were incarcerated, or if you seen somebody when they came in, it was their first fight and how they gained respect, whether they won or lost. Okay, because that's how it goes. They don't give a damn if you're bumping or if you're not bumping. It's more to see where your heart's at. Y'all drop it in the comment section. I'm always watching. I appreciate y'all watching. Like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, clout chasers, people with fake pull-out goals that want to lie to the world and say they're real, people that finance rims down here in the state of Florida and act like they own them shits. Keep them out your circle, man. Till next time, this the one and only Frog.